I'm Abra Pappa from NutritiousAmerica.com, and this is Organic Food. Today I'm going to give you some organic food thickener help. So when you're building an organic kitchen or trying to switch over from conventionally produced foods to organic foods, there are some pantry staples that you should switch out. So I'm going to give you two great switch outs for standard thickeners. So typically you would thicken a sauce or a stew or a soup with cornstarch or white flour. And in a natural food kitchen or an organic kitchen, we try not to use cornstarch or white flour. So here are two options. The first is called Arrowroot. Arrowroot thickens in the exact same way as flour and cornstarch, so it's a great swap out. 1 tablespoon of arrowroot will thicken 1 cup of liquid. And here's the substitution. For 1 tablespoon of flour, if a recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of flour to thicken, you'll use 2 teaspoons of arrowroot. If a recipe calls for a half a tablespoon of cornstarch, you'll use 2 teaspoons of arrowroot. And you're just going to dissolve arrowroot in water and let it cook in your soup, stew, whatever you're using to thicken for about 3 minutes. What's great about arrowroot is it's natural. It's just a ground up arrowroot. That's the name of the plant. And it gives this beautiful gloss to your food, which works really well if you're using it to thicken a pie. Maybe not so well if you're thickening a sort of meat sauce, so maybe use my other option if you're doing a meat sauce. The other thing I love about arrowroot is that it freezes very well. So if you're used to using cornstarch in your food to thicken it, you can't freeze a food with cornstarch because it becomes sludgy and yucky and messy. You can freeze any food with arrowroot. So this is a really simple switch out. The second one is called Kuzu root starch, and this is certainly not as common as arrowroot. What I love about Kuzu root starch is it's what I call a functional food, which means that it does more than just culinary purposes. It also works to heal the body. So Kuzu is an incredible healing aid. It helps digestion. It helps to increase bone density. It is very healing if you're sick. It's actually good for a cold or fever tonic. Kuzu root has been around for centuries. It's been used traditionally in Chinese medicine for centuries. So Kuzu root you can use in the same way you use cornstarch. What you're going to do, it looks like this. It looks like almost little pieces of chalk. And you'll just crush it to make a fine powder. And you're going to dissolve the kuzu in equal amounts of water. So if you do 1 teaspoon of the kuzu root, you'll do 1 teaspoon of water. You just dissolve it to make a little slurry. And then this is what you would add to your food to thicken it. Kuzu root is gluten-free, which is another great thing because if you are going gluten-free, cornstarch and flour are not gluten-free. Arrowroot is also gluten-free. So here's 2 great foods to swap out, add to your natural food pantry, and you're well on your way. I'm Abra Pappa. Have a delicious day.